Let us take note that there is a very strong correlation between the forms of death and the experience that the dead person goes through during and after death. So all death, though we call them death, are not the same in terms of the experience that the person will go through during and after. Since the spirit is making journey through the various worlds and it drops bodies pertaining to each of these worlds, what then do we mean when we talk about death, and what are the forms? There are various forms of death: natural death, death through accidents, or suicide, among others. Actually, medical examination and reports are key to establishing the cause of death and how to classify that form accordingly. What is natural death? It refers to death that is caused by solely disease or natural processes. How about accidental death? It is an unnatural death that comes from an unintentional happening. For example, accident by transport, drug abuse, drowning, fall from a height, fire, and so on. How about homicide? It is death resulting from the action of a person that leads to the death of another. And suicide? That is a self-inflicted injury motivated by a desire to cause death to oneself. Let us take note that there is a very strong correlation between the forms of death and the experience that the dead person goes through during and after death. So all death, though we call them death, are not the same in terms of the experience that the person will go through during and after. That is to say, the experiences that the dead person has are not the same in all instances. It differs, whether it's a natural death or unnatural death. Let us talk more about natural death. When a couple are expecting a baby and they have the means, you can see the great preparations they make to welcome the child. And what are some of the examples? Taking childbirth classes, going for medical checkups and reviews, buying clothing for the baby in advance, planning for labor, psyching older children, if they have them, to receive a newcomer, and preparing associates and friends, or building the community of well-wishers. Then the pain and joy of giving birth takes place. The glamour of adoring and naming ceremony follows, and in happiness too. For sure, it's always a joyful moment. Yet, when the time is up for a person to depart this physical world, which is the most important thing for the spirit in its journey through matter, that moment is laced with activities of the living that cause the dead grief, pain, and fear. Because, unlike the preparations made towards birth, no such preparations are made for the transition into the invisible worlds. Meanwhile, this transition into the spiritual realm is actually birth into that world, whereas birth into the physical world is death in the spiritual world. To a very large extent, there is an inverse relationship between the physical world and the spiritual world. Death here is birth over there, and birth here is death over there. And when we are talking about it, it is in terms of consciousness. So death in the physical world is birth in the spiritual world, and vice versa. We ask on this platform that, is this passing from physical life made pleasant by love and good wishes of friends? In many instances, the answer is no. We don't make this passing over of the living into the spiritual realm a pleasant thing by certain conduct, and we'll be looking at all that. The greatest of all journeys into the home of the spirit is still attended by grief. The way is covered with fears and washed with tears. The traveler, who is the dead person, is not attended by the love and joy which awaited his or her entrance into the physical life at birth. The spirit, therefore, enters into a new life unprepared, unhappy, because of the grief and wrong actions of people who have no spiritual knowledge about the implications of their actions. And we are going to explain this into detail. Why certain actions of the living are actually suffering for the dead person. Once again, we ask, what is humanity doing to prepare everybody for the change called death? Is it not about time that humanity has a science of death in place, just as we have for birth? Why don't we also have a science of death in place? Let us note that it is by the physical body and this physical world that humanity must learn to become a creator like the Father in heaven. They are tools. The physical world and the physical body that we are using as spirits is or are means by which the spirit is learning to master the lessons of life, so that we, the spirit, can be recognized by the Father in heaven as sons. It is the spirit that will be recognized as sons, not this physical body. Let us go to Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, where we read, "And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." But there comes a time that the physical body becomes tired, wears out, and it is necessary the spirit be given a time to assimilate the experiences gained on earth. Therefore, God made it such that the spirit should step out of the unsuitable old dense body and function in its spiritual body. So it becomes of us for the natural phenomenon to play itself out. Nobody can escape it. Once you are a human being, you will go through that process, just as you were given birth to. So, the sower, the human being, the sower, reaps at last the good and evil of his or her action on earth. The harvest time has come, when the skeleton spectre of death arrives with the sight and hourglass. And we show the picture of the skeleton spectre of death arriving with the sight and then hourglass.
Filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see. Whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all this.